this time. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Legendary Sports Podcast.
What up? What up? What up?
Hey, we're getting live with it's gonna be a short one today, just kind of get through a few super important topics here. One being the Thursday night football game, because this is
Go
so
ahead. Have at
critical.
it. Have at it. I want to hear all
First
about
off,
this.
first off, pre-show meeting, Fields is needed to make this team better. Because this team is way worse without Fields. It is night and day how bad it
They
is.
didn't even win any games with Fields. Did they
They
win?
they
They were
yes,
1-6 or
they
whatever.
were two
One
and
in
something
they.
or whatever.
No. Because Bajan just won 2 games. They're three
Well,
and
they were
seven
one
now.
and something. Yeah.
Bajan won 2 games.
Fields got hurt. He can win 2 games. Get you
Now
give
listen
you give
for the
Fields the Panthers, and he can win this game. This was more of a Deontay Foreman game than it was a Bagnet game or whatever his name is.
okay. And I was gonna say this for our purposes that we speak of fantasy and fantasy only. This would have had a little bit more of DJ Moore and a little bit more Fields in this game. But as a whole, he didn't do. I mean, he would have won this. He
DJ Moore
makes
would have DJ Moore if Fields was playing would have went for at least 16, 17 fantasy points easily. Would have been way better performance. Cole Kmet would have been way more involved. Absolutely. Cole Kmet had a good week last week, but
what? Goldman just killed it.
1 week. This week he didn't kill anything. And then Deontay Foreman, who has been pretty consistent anyway, because everybody else has been hurt. He's been the only running back that's been good. He is the only consistent player on this offense, and I say consistent lightly.
Man, I gotta do my research, man, because this just isn't fair. This just isn't fair.
Bangman ain't
Um,
putting up no 40 points in fantasy. So he ain't gonna, if you want to talk about fantasy, he's not getting you no fantasy, and he's not delivering no fantasy points.
well, you know what? Um,
At least with Fields, DJ Moore got opportunity and put up buckets and numbers. Even Cole Kmet had good numbers with Fields.
oh, this is I was all the way in the preseason. I was about to say, oh man, dude, you know what? Let's not even waste our time. We know how I feel
Yeah,
about Fields.
that's right,
We,
baby.
we know how I feel about Fields.
Uh huh. That's right.
Let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that,
Yep.
man.
Okay. Well, Fields, you the man. Get back soon because the Chicago Bears
Whoa,
need
hey,
you.
whoa! Don't waste our podcast time over there talking about Fields is the man. Fields, you make your team better and you put up decent fantasy points. Let's go there.
Whatever, man.
Don't say
Fields,
he's the
you the
man.
man.
There's so many more men than him.
Fields, you the man. On to the next one, baby. Let's flip to the other side. There's nothing going on for the Panthers at this moment. They came crashing down to earth pretty hard. So, um, which they were never really that high in the air to begin with. So you just kind of take it with what they are with the Panthers. Thielen back to being what more people probably thought he would be the last 2 weeks, which is pedestrian, which sucks because he was critical and awesome for so long, and now it's just kind of like, all right, the wheels fell off. The Cinderella story for Thielen has now
Just one. It was just 1 week,
two
right?
weeks.
Let's not write home
2 weeks.
about that. But here we go. Here's a question I have to ask of you. Um, fantasy purposes, real life purposes. On one hand, you got the number one pick in Bryce Young, struggling to make wins, struggling to do certain things, struggling to get his team there, struggling to average 200 yards a game. Struggling. And then you got CJ Stroud on the other hand, a number two pick, who is just balling out of his mind. Talk to me about these guys fantasy wise, and talk to me about the Panthers as a whole and the Texans as a whole, pretty much. Right? Talk to me about that.
I'll take one half of this. I will take the Houston Texans half of this because I kind of ranted about the Panthers for a second there. So, um, For me, I think that the pressure for I will speak a little number one for the pressure for the number one does take hold on this, and that it's shown that some of these number ones fall under this pressure of being the guy to transform a franchise. And I think Bryce Young is probably feeling that, and he's not delivering on what the expectations are. Now, that being said, I don't think the coaching staff and scheme for the Panthers is as good as the Texans are, having a players coach that understands how to help the psychology of a player during ups and downs. So I think overall, from a fantasy and football standpoint, Stroud is in a better position to succeed. As much as I hate the Texans organization, I think that they put a better series of pieces around to make this a successful journey for him. And it shows so far, right? The mistakes he has made, what few he has made, are because not just of his skill, but of the scheme around him. And they get the guys involved and they get people in motion. They have guys going, doing a lot of work after the catch. So I think that's good for Nico Collins. I think that's good for Tank Dell. I think that's the running, and there's no running game, right? So they have to throw. Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary, I think it is terrible, right? So,
Pass.
yeah. So let's throw all day. But it's letting him develop. So I think from CJ Stroud's standpoint, you can rely on the people on that team longer for the rest of your season as threes and fours. I wouldn't say anybody's a two yet. I know Nico Collins' numbers might say something different, but I don't see them as a two. It's more or like a 2-3. I see everybody's a 3-4. So fill them in your flex or bye weeks, and you won't be totally destroyed.
So I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. I think the Houston Texans has a little bit of that Cincinnati Bengals in them. I think they got the
Mm,
right coaching staff, right? When they brought in Joe Burrow, they brought Zach Taylor. They got D'Amico Ryans down there
mm,
now, right? In Houston, right? When they brought in CJ Stroud, they brought D'Amico Ryans in the year
mm.
before, right? He's a culture guy. Um, and I like what they did with Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Now you said
Yep.
they're 3-4 guys, they're flex guys and all of that, but this is just CJ Stroud's first year. They went out and identified some guys that could possibly
Well, if you're
help.
talking dynasty, we have a different conversation. Dynasty, this is crazy.
Well, I didn't say anything about a dynasty. The Cincinnati Bengals aren't a dynasty yet, but they just brought in a new coach. They
I'm talking about fantasy
identified.
football dynasty.
Oh, okay, yeah. But they brought in a new coach, brought in some that identified some receivers, and I think that I don't think that Bryce Young just has the pieces around him to help elevate him. I seen him hit some throws where people just drop some balls,
Yeah.
and it's just like, man, you got to catch that balls that people are catching for CJ Stroud that they aren't catching for Bryce Young, and I think that's just where the difference is that the level of talent around them, and also, like you said,
You
the
know what the
scheming.
Texans remind me of for coaching and structure? I mean, they don't have as many player coaches, but they remind me of Detroit, where they have these hard nosed coaches that are just like, but they're some of them are former players. They really understand the psychology of what it's like to actually be on the field, especially with the head coach understanding that like he knows where those woes come in. He knows how to go through the ups and downs. He's done it right in the league as a player, so he can relate. He's there, right? And I think that's made a huge difference compared to the teams that don't have that. So
That's fair. That is fair.
no, that's good, man. Uh, how you feeling about the upcoming week? How do you feel about your teams? How do you feel about your matchups? Any buys that are going to be killing you? Anything like that that you know is holding, might hold your team
So
back a bit?
this is what I'll say about as a whole from fantasy football. There is no waivers right now. There's no one on waivers.
No, it's a wasteland. You're right. You're 100% right.
Not unless you're in like an 8 team league or something like that.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you got 8 teams, then but anything more than that, 10 and 12, there's
Yeah.
no
No, you're
waivers.
100%.
There's no waivers. So right now, you really need to be looking at matchups,
Yep.
and who has the best. matchup going at that point, right? Um, so for me, Devontae Adams hasn't been that great, right? And is where I picked him at. I still need to play him, but he's going against the Jets, the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And that defense has been stout, and I don't see it getting any better. So things like that is like you got to sit Devontae Adams, man, and go with
Yeah.
someone else.
Which is so
Like,
tough because when you look at all the buys this week, you got Chiefs, you got Philly, you got um what was the Dolphins out here. Like, and now you gotta sit Devontae. Man, that's not something you hear about in the bye week where you really are short on superb talent, you know. So and you got and the Rams with Cup and everybody. So it's like, dang, what kind of sad story is this now?
and this is just where we are. This
Man.
is just where we've come to in the football stratosphere, you
So
know?
technically, you have like instead of 14 to 5 teams on a bye because you don't want to start any of the Raiders if you can avoid it. So it's like,
Well, Josh Jacobs, he don't
yeah,
have to
you
catch
can
a
start
ball.
Jacobs. You can start Jacobs. He is the only thing about that team that is useful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that could be said about some of the same things like the Panthers, right? The Panthers didn't do much of anything. No one on the Panthers did anything.
but Panthers
And so
don't
did the
have a
Bears.
veteran quarterback that was benched for a rookie. Like the Panthers don't have that. Like that's crazy to me.
That's fair.
Like Jimmy G was so
Fair.
bad. It's like, no, let's start this other guy instead.
I'm a little I'm a little nervous. Let's start this other guy who we didn't even draft to be a starting quarterback. We just drafted him as backup
We drafted him as a
purposes.
backup, but he's better than the guy we paid 3 years, like $72 million or something like that, to bench his ass.
Man, what is worth to be a
That's why McDaniels is not
quarterback?
there. That is why. Holy cow.
Yo, so I mean,
But yeah, it's
it
gonna be it's tough with Devontae in that situation. It's gonna be ugly because like you lose a stud in the week where you have a really big bipocalypse as far as talent. It's not the most players gone, but it is the most talent that is gone. So all right, yeah, little hiccup here, technical difficulties.
man, that's where we gotta put our hey, hit us up if you want some advertisement or something. That's where we gotta put our ads in right there.
Yeah, we gotta get upgrade our technologies here. We need some ad money coming in. So help
Yeah,
us out,
yeah, yeah.
people.
Hit us up.
So who do you think's gonna boom this week?
You know what? As much as this sounds weird and it sounds funny, Zay Jones. Zay Jones is
Not
back off
really.
injury this week. They're playing the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, he's still out. He's still out. He's still out.
No go.
Oh, I thought he was expected to return this week.
No
This
go.
week, he's out another week. They were saying that he was trending to come back, and I was excited to see him.
You
Um, I was excited to see Zay Jones this week because of
know who's
I was
gonna
excited
boom?
to see him.
Everybody probably knows. It's gonna be
Huh?
Amon Ra. It's gonna be Montgomery if he's back, which I think he's back, right?
Nope.
Was he
I
out one
don't
more
think.
week?
Yeah, I think David
No, I
Montgomery's
thought
back.
Montgomery was back. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be, you know, of all the games this week, I think that's gonna be the one with the fantasy points that go in. I think even though Detroit has a good run defense, I don't know how they're not like top dog in the air. So for me, I was gonna say one person, but it's gonna be Austin Eckler. I think he's gonna have a good game still because he just catches passes all over the place. It's gonna be David Montgomery, even Jameer Gibbs. I think he's still gonna be very involved because he showed that he could be a stud when he needs to be. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Keenan Allen, all those guys I think are going to have
Man,
phenomenal weeks.
give me somebody who's not with a big name right now. Someone like a Najee
Hey,
Harris,
Keenan
right?
Allen's a
Check this
big
out.
name, but he's had a quiet couple of weeks.
Hey, hear me out here. Hear me out here. Najee Harris. Najee Harris has put 3 solid weeks together. Excuse me, 3 solid weeks together. Week 7 versus the Rams, 14 carries, 53 yards, 1 TD, 3 receptions for 15 yards, right? PPR, PPR league, 21 points. Week 8, Jacksonville Jaguars, 7 carries, 13 yards, really bad, but 5 receptions for 42 yards. 5 receptions, PPR, 20 points, right?
5
Week
receptions?
9,
Was
week
that 20?
9,
Yeah, 20. Yeah.
week 9 against Tennessee, 16 carries, 69 yards, 1 TD, 2 receptions for 7 yards. PPR, 20 points. He's been so solid over these last 3 weeks.
And what
He's
league is he
earned,
has 20 points? That's not 20 points.
what is it?
That's like
I'm just,
that's like 14 and
no, it can't be. 17, maybe.
no,
I
hold
don't.
on.
I'm not going off. I'm just going off this other league scale. That here we
Yeah,
can find out though.
no, it's like 13 actual fantasy points, man. It's not that high. That's why I'm saying you're giving Najee too much credit here.
13, 13. They can't be 13 in the PPR.
7 receptions, 40 yards that's 11 points, and then
And
like 2 points in
five receptions
rushing in that 1 week. So that
and
like,
a TD. Here, let me go
oh
see. I
wait,
got him.
no, but he only had 2 receptions, didn't he? You said so. 2 receptions is 10 points, and then 6.9 in yards.
Here, we can go find him. We're gonna go. We're gonna. We can
So
go.
what's that? Yeah,
I got him. I got him. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
you tell me how bad he is.
You're right. You're right. 16 points. 16
Yeah,
points. 16 and 16. 16, 11, 16.
yeah. There we go. There we go.
16, 11, 16. Hey,
For
4 points
Najee,
off.
that's
I'm
good
sorry, my
though.
math was off. I was
For
doing some
for
other stuff.
Najee, that's good though. For Najee, that's pretty good.
Coming from 5, 5, 5, 5,
Yeah.
5, right? Like he's on the uptick, man. I'm gonna take 15. I'm gonna take 15 and 16
Yeah,
points.
but Jalen Warren's getting the same amount of points. So what do I care about? He literally has the same amount and a higher floor. He's been 10, 10, 11, 11, 14, 10, 10.
Hey, yeah, you're absolutely right. But I'm just saying
So
somebody
Jalen
who's on
Warren,
the
start him over
uptick.
Najee. Boom.
No, no,
Jalen
no,
Warren over Najee, baby.
no. Hey, you can't go wrong. All I'm saying is if you got Najee Harris on your team, I think it's about time to put him back in the starting lineup after all those blunders he had
Yeah,
earlier in the year.
in this week you probably don't have a choice but to put him back in there. But so okay, so here's some questions for you then, since you're such a Najee fan. Let me go to the lineups here real quick. 1 second. I'm gonna ask you some questions on who would you start him over? Now I'm curious. So, are you starting Najee over Jonathan Taylor, given how Jonathan Taylor's been playing?
No.
Interesting. What about Ramondre Stevenson?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. They've been the same guy all year.
Yeah, they have. That's true. I think I think if anything, I'm trusting Ramondre and the Patriots to get it figured out more than I'm trusting Najee and Kenny P to get it figured out. I mean,
I
Najee has
mean,
to get real lucky to get those touchdowns to give him any real fantasy points. I mean, it has to be a miracle.
man, I've never seen someone hate so much on one person.
Oh, Justin Fields, excuse me. Let's go back to that.
We're talking about Najee here. I don't want to hear that. We're talking about Najee here.
That's what I thought. Let's put a pin in all that nonsense. Okay. Oh, Brian Robinson or Najee Harris. Brian's got
Najee right
Seattle.
now. Najee right now. They're playing Seattle.
Yeah, the Washington's playing Seattle, who's not very good.
Najee.
Really, that is quite the vote of confidence. Yeah, they're playing Green Bay. That's fine. I'm okay with that. That's a lot closer than I realized. Because the Green Bay is pretty terrible.
Axe Tony Pollard. Najee. Josh
No,
Jacobs. Najee. Bijan
no,
Robinson. Najee.
absolutely not with Josh Jacobs. That is absurd. I will drop this call right now.
What?
Josh Jacobs,
Hey,
Josh Jacobs has been superior to Najee even in his worst, even with the undrafted psychopath they have starting at QB. He's still better than him.
oh, let's go. Hey, look, I love the show. I love the show because we could go to the numbers. I love the show because we can always go to the numbers. So let's just go to the numbers. Let's
let's
just go to
go.
the numbers.
Let's go to some numbers here because I I agree with you on most of those. I'm actually putting Brian Robinson over Najee. I think that's gonna be a better situation. I think they're gonna be more in scoring positions, especially because Seattle is relatively bad on defense. There's no way in any shape or form starting Najee over Josh Jacobs. Don't even care about how bad that quarterback situation is. Makes no difference. There was what I don't even I can't I'm flabbergasted by that response.
Bijan, Bijan.
um no, I'm still as bad as Bijan's been. He's got the Cardinals this week. So there's no way I could do that against the Cardinals. If Bijan doesn't get it against the Cardinals, then I'll flip those two around. But no. If my point is if they can figure it out with Najee, they can figure it out with Bijan. That's my point. Because there's no way the Falcons are that much worse than the Steelers. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Hey, I looked up Josh Jacobs' stats. I didn't want to bring him up though because
I'm looking at him right now. Look at that.
you don't gotta
21,
say it out loud.
15, 1, 5.11,
Just
19,
just just name
27.
it. Just
Josh Jacobs all day, baby. So maybe we should just put Josh Jacobs back on top of Najee and call that a win, huh?
okay. We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah,
We can do
okay.
that.
I'll save you for you, and I'll put it back on top for both of us.
My
uh,
brother's a. I think my brother knows Josh Jacobs a little bit. He lives out in Vegas and he does some really high end stuff.
oh, really?
And yeah, he loves Josh Jacobs. So with that being
Good for
said,
that.
sorry, Josh,
That's right.
you're out there watching.
That's right. That being said, I need you to put up at least 20. So I gotta make
Hey, we'll see. But Najee has definitely been on an upswing.
yeah, he has. He's been better than you would. He's been at least the Josh Jacobs you were hoping for when you drafted him, or not Josh Najee. That you drafted him in like the third, fourth round. So you can't complain about that. I mean, you can for the first like 8 weeks, 6 weeks of the season or whatever, but after that, he's fine. Who else is so we spent a lot of time on those two, but some other people who I think could have decent performance weeks. Um, Tyler Boyd, because T. Higgins is out. And playing against Houston, I think that's going to be a good PPR week. I think he's someone that you can pick up if he's on the waiver or if he's on your bench. I mean, he's basically like, 8 to 10 points a game, and maybe he can be, 11 to 13, 14 this
now,
week.
yeah.
Yeah, or 15. Yeah, he could be somewhere in there on PPR. So I think that's a good one. And I got to do something about this T. Higgins problem, man, because I've had him for all of like 3 games this year.
He killed it last week too.
He
He
did.
looked like he was coming
Yeah.
along.
He comes in for like a week or two and then leaves with some injury. He comes in for a week or two, then leaves with an injury. That doesn't help me. But yeah,
I almost
so
made a trade for him. I was this close for making a trade for him.
oh man, wish you would have. I would have taken anything for him at this point. Jeez.
I needed to see what's up with Jamar Chase, man. Tell y'all to hit me up. You told her not to take the deal, didn't you?
No, actually, I didn't.
You don't advise your wife when talking
At
fantasy
one point,
football?
she should be advising me. Not this season, but prior season, she should be advising me. I was the one taking L's early on this season. Yeah,
Ah, you wasn't listening to the pod. That's why you was just speaking
shoot,
it.
man. Well, once I started putting in Josh Jacobs, no, started winning some games. So,
Nah.
no, but we talk fantasy and stuff, but she's more tuned out now because it's Ellsville over there. So
I'm gonna have to press her about it and be like, hey, look, can we get Jamar Chase out here?
you
Being that
better up that
vulture.
trade though. You ain't gonna be giving them those, especially now that the people that you wanted to trade have only been performing at
So it's Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase didn't did anything great.
the vultures back. The vultures back. The vultures back. Just taking out the bottom feeding teams, man.
I've never left. I've
Yeah,
never
the
left. So here,
vultures
hey,
still.
listen.
I
Here we go,
respect
right
it
here.
though. Look, man, if you pull a trade, the thing is, I don't really care that much about trades. Like, if she takes it, that's fine because you never know how that actually will pan out. Like, if you had taken T. Higgins after a good week, you would have been disappointed because now he's injured, right? That's the stuff that can happen. You don't know.
So here's the thing, man. Vulture, and we're talking about Vulture and weeks and stuff like this, dude. I was riding high, bro, and I told you a couple episodes ago. I said, "Hey, man, look, things can change in a blink of an eye. I'm 5-3, or 5-2, or 4
Yeah,
and 1, or whatever it was." I said, "I don't want to ride this wave and still, and I dropped 3 straight. Now I'm 5-4. Is this week 9? This is week 10, right?
and
Yeah, I've dropped 3 straight. Now I'm 5-4. Backs against the wall. What am I gonna do now? Granted, 2 of those I dropped because Tay Tay just didn't do anything for me.
fair. Yep.
I could have put my grandma in for fantasy and she would have got me more points than Tay Tay that week. And I lost one game by 5 and I lost
Mm-hmm.
another game by like 4 or something like that. So to
So
be
which league are
fair,
you dropping 3 straight in?
um,
Not in our leagues because you're still like 7-2 and like 8 and
I'm
1 in our
seven and
league.
two in one of them, not that one, but the other one. I'm 5-4 in the MSP. I'm
No, you're not. You're 7-2 in MSP.
oh well, then the Big Ten.
You dropped that far in the Big Ten?
I'm in 5th place, bro.
Really?
I literally beat Team Stevac to give him his first loss, and then I said, "Oh man, this could be bad," and I dropped three
That's
in a row.
crazy because that actually opens up the door for me. If I can go on a run, probably not going to happen this week, but I need to go on a run. And that means that I'm a lot closer than I was before. If some of these 5-4 teams can start dropping, that's good news for me. Are the 5-4s playing each other in 4-5s? They are. Okay, good. I need some of these people to start. Oh yeah, you're playing the guy that I just lost, who's in 9th place. I hope you lose to him too. Damn it.
Don't hope that on me.
Oh
Don't put
man, he put up this highest number of all last year. He put up 126. Like he hasn't put up 80 all season. Crazy, crazy.
So
Well,
here we
good luck
go.
to you,
So I'm
man.
playing a 9th place guy, 5th and 6 and 7,
I know
fourth and
I know I said I wanted you to lose. You only lost 2 in a row, so you're still all right though. You'll be
yeah, but still, I'm still 5-4. I lost 2 in a row. That's not good.
no,
So
that's
I
not
need the
good.
number 3 team.
Yeah,
I need the number 2 team to beat the number 3 team, honestly.
yeah.
And the number
I need the
and the
number
number
two to beat
four
the
team.
number 3. I agree with you there. I also need number 7 to beat number 6 because I need them to go at 5-5 and tie. Then I gotta get up to 4-6. If I can get up to 4-6, I feel a lot better about rallying. But if I can't get to 4-6 this week, doesn't even matter if one of those two does win or lose. I'm screwed. I'm in trouble. So even with the extra game,
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that you're in trouble just yet at 4-6. Because you can still rally off those next four.
well, I have to get the 4-6. I'm at 3-6 now, so I still need the rally. I got to at least win three
Oh,
out of the
so if
next
you get to
four.
three, yeah, if you lose and get to 3-7 this week, yeah, you're done.
Yeah, that's rough living. So
Yeah. So it sounds like we got a lot going on in this league here,
this
man,
is
and
the
a lot.
league. This is the league where like this hurts. This is the one where this is like, dang man, there's a lot on this one, and like it's a very close battle for the middle of the pack, and like and then there's two people outside looking in, and I'm one of those two people outside looking in. So
Yeah, this
yeah,
is tough.
yeah,
This
it's
is
gonna be a
tough.
rough
So
league. Yeah,
I mean,
the
I'm
other
still.
league I'm okay. I'm 6-3 now, so I'm in the opposite of this one, and I got five straight. So I'm in a spot where if I take an L this week, which I hope I don't, but if I do, I'm okay. So
Hey, shout out to Jake in our other league. He's the number one guy. Look at him,
yeah, I
number one
know
over there.
he had a rough season last season, so good to see him bounce back a little bit, a lot of it.
Well,
Actually.
let's switch over to this league really quick, and see what's going on over here. I got
Oh, we got a
Yads in
couple
this
minutes
league.
left. Let's do it. You know what I need to start doing is so people can have a
What's
visual of our league, right? I need to start sharing my screen so people can kind of see like what we're talking about when it comes to our league.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Jet Shiesty, even though he just beat me last week. Oh, that's you at number 4. I wouldn't mind him beating you though. I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind the fifth.
kind of
The
messed up.
10th seed is playing the fifth seed. I wouldn't mind the 10th seed winning.
I love
I wouldn't
Migs.
mind number nine beating.
I love Migs, but that's messed up, man. It's messed up.
Hey man, I need to put some distance between. I need to get that number 1 seed.
I'm actually nervous for this week because I am missing my top guy. So I am missing no, yeah. Um Tyreek Hill. So it does not put me in a great spot. But
Ooh wee, and you started Chuba Hubbard.
yeah, I thought that was gonna be better against the Chicago defense, which everybody says was really good at the run stop, and they're okay. They're like middle of the pack, but I wasn't like concerned about them, but maybe I should have been, but it was either him, Tank Dell, or and Rasheed Rice is on buys. I didn't trust anybody else, so it was a coin flip between those two, and I lost the coin flip. It would
Yeah,
have been um T. Higgins if he was in and not hurt. That was who my flex there was.
yeah. You
So
should have went with T. You should have went with Tank Dell. But that's
yeah,
it, guys.
I
That's
should
it
have.
for us, man. Thank you guys for tuning in with us.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Appreciate y'all.
We'll let y'all
Always.
know how it go on Sunday.
That's right. We'll give you the feedback and see how we're doing, who survived, who died. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Peace.